Yo gamers, what's up? It's GoldDemon12 here, back with another Wuthering Waves video, and today I have something very interesting to share with you guys. There is a secret shop that you can unlock with a free 4-star weapon and many resin items that will be helpful for you in grinding up your characters and weapons. So, Tiger's Maw Ore Shop. This is something you unlock after you beat the second quest, Tiger's Maw Act 2. You have to unlock the quest just by obviously doing Act 1, which just requires you to come over to this area, talk to the people, and do things, right? And then you'll do the second quest, which will then unlock a weapon supply chest for these 5 weapons here. Some weapon experience, which will be very helpful because, again, you'll get a free weapon, you're going to want to level it up. You can also get some credits. I myself have been running low because I just wasted a bunch of them on other resin materials from the first shop, and then a bunch of, tier 2 resin materials. So this will be huge because you can get 10 of each of these. So this will give you a couple of levels worth on, some weapons and characters. So that's going to be really nice. And in case y'all don't know where the other shops are, I will show you in this video. But first, let's look over the weapons. So, as for the free weapons, we have Broadblade, I actually forget the name. Broadblade 41, we have Sword 18, Pistols 26, Gauntlets 21D, and Rectifier 25. As for those weapons in particular, the Broadblade is going to be attack main stat, obviously, with a energy recharge passive. Now, or secondary stat. I don't know if there's any character that currently like a current Broadblade character that wants energy regen. Maybe it will help with like rotations on a few DPSs like Calcharo, but I don't think right now there's anybody who wants this, right? Especially when a character like Tao Chi wants, defense scaling, so that isn't really that impactful. The passive itself, though, is whenever your HP is above 80, you get attack increased by 12%. When it's below 40, it restores your HP, and whenever you deal basic attack damage or heavy attack damage. Again, this passive isn't anything crazy. You should be above 80 most of the time, unless, of course, you take heavy damage. I don't really think this is all that good, to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of use out of it, so probably not the best one to pick up. Sword number 18 is attack percent secondary stat, so double attack, and whenever your equipped character drops below 40, it increases your heavy attack damage by 80%, or 18%, and restores 5% upon dealing heavy attack damage. This effect can be triggered one time every 8 seconds. This is actually going to be a pretty decent option on Dan Jin specifically because she does have HP drain on her attacks, so this is very reliable to actually keep up. However, that being said, it's per attack, so right, it only happens every 1 second. So my understanding of this currently is that this would only happen for the 1 attack, and you typically have her on field for longer than that, or maybe about that, but it takes longer to actually, or you probably will get another heavy off, and so you'll get less use from the passive, right? And so in comparison to like other weapons, it won't be nearly as strong, but this will be a decent option for her specifically. Anybody else, not really. It's like whatever, right? Double attack is obviously good because right now most characters scale off attack, but this is, not the most sought after passive. Pistols number 26, attack percent secondary, and whenever this resonator does not take damage, increases attack by 6%, up to 2 stacks every 5 seconds. This effect lasts for 8 seconds. Whenever the resonator takes damage, reduces the number of stacks by 1 and increases their HP by 50%. This is probably the best one here because this is a pretty universal weapon. It is realistic for your gun characters considering they are ranged to not take damage because you can sit back, activate their passives abilities and all that stuff, as well as the fact that it's not a very, it has good uptime, right? 5 seconds is pretty reliable considering that, they'll be off field for most of the fight currently. Obviously, what's her name? I forget her name. The fire gun girl, right? She's on field for a lot of time in comparison to the other two. But again, like this one is probably the best one just because it's overall useful in every character and its requirement isn't, specific to, a certain amount of HP or whatnot. So this wouldn't be a bad pickup. Would be a solid for a 4-star if you need one on your gun characters. As for the gauntlets, they are energy regen secondary stat, which just like the broadsword, I don't think has much use. However, the passive is definitely tailored for Jan Jin. If you read the passive, it states, Resonator dashes or dodges increases attack by 8%, Increases counter damage by 50%, lasting for 8 seconds. When counterattacks perform, restores originator's HP by 5%. This effect can be triggered once every 6 seconds. So obviously this attack person thing is like whatever, but the main thing here is the 50% counter damage. This, as far as I know, is the only one of these characters that has a counter. So this is actually going to be a very powerful effect for this character. But again, energy recharge is probably not what you're looking for. But who knows? Maybe you this will help you hit your thresholds or whatever. And the HP increase is, pretty solid. So, all things being said, the gauntlets are probably the best pickup because this honestly does seem like a pretty solid pick for this character in particular. But you do build more damage, so I don't necessarily know about the energy recharge, but maybe this will help rotations, considering at least on Pride Run they recommend 40 to 50 energy recharge. So, pretty solid pickup. Lastly, we have the Rectifier, 24? That's what it was. Energy recharge secondary stat, but it's a much higher amount of energy recharge. As you can see, the attack is lower than the rest of them, so that is something of note. And the energy recharge is much higher. I'm not sure what Rectifier character this would be good on because the passive itself is not that strong. Whenever you use a skill, and if the character has is below 60% HP, it restores their HP by 5. This effect can be triggered one time every 8 seconds. If the resonator is above 60% HP, increases their attack by 12%, lasting for 10 seconds. I don't know what Rectifier character would even want this, personally. Verena does want energy recharge, however, there is another, Rectifier, that is better for her, that gives her energy for her Concorto meter. That is much more beneficial for this character, and that one also goes off energy recharge. So I'm not really sure who'd want this. Encore doesn't really want this either because she wants, damage percent stats. Yinlin maybe, but obviously, well, not obviously. I think the same one that Verena uses would be better because building up meter on her is going to be very beneficial for your team overall. So I don't really know if this one is going to be what you want. This will, however, get your ultimate up faster, so maybe it's a solid pick for Yinlin. And then Baiji, you could probably actually run this, considering her ultimate is, obviously going to be very, very beneficial for what she wants to do, and meter gain, right? Because if you get your ultimate faster, you can get extra meter. So maybe that's what you want to pick up. But personally, I'm probably going to pick up the gauntlets for Jan Jin, but that is going to be up to you. As for the other shops, just to wrap this video up, in case y'all had any more questions, you can buy resin materials at the souvenir shop or at the shop up here. So if you go over here to the weaponsmith, he also sells you materials. The souvenir shop requires the wood carvings that you get from exploring the map, right? These wood texture shards. You go around the map and you can use them here to actually get a couple of standard banner summons, up to 6 if I remember correctly. And you can also get other XP materials and other resin, costume materials. As well as this blacksmith over here, if you actually talk to him, he will sell you resin, required materials. Now, I don't know if it shows up because I've already bought all of them, but okay, yeah, they do here. So you can see you can buy them, but it's the lower grade of them. But again, you are now able to pretty easily buy it. It's going to cost you shell credits, just so keep that in mind. But yeah, those are the 3 shops that I currently know can give you resin-based materials without having to spend your, wave plate, right? So that's going to be very beneficial for players, 100%. I would recommend doing that. This one, actually, we can go back and look. This one requires you to grind up rocks that you will need to craft weapons. So let's say you wanted to craft one of the weapons, because, again, you can craft certain 4-star weapons. This is going to make you use the same materials, and it apparently ports me all the way down there. Let me go up there. This is going to be using the same materials that you get from there. So instead of spending those materials on crafting the weapons, you'll probably want to spend them here first, because this is realistically a cheaper weapon, right? Because it only costed, what, 50 of those materials instead of the, like, 150 or something that you need for crafting them. So this might be a better option for players looking to get a specific weapon for one of their characters, like maybe the sword for a DPS character, or, the gauntlets for Jan Jin, as an example, right? It's gonna be these blue rocks. I actually do not know what they're called. Lampy Lumen. Wacky name, but yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully this video helps anybody out, right, in terms of like finding the shop and just progressing in the game. This is definitely something you're gonna want to unlock, right? And just a reminder in case I've yapped too much for the video, you need to complete the Tiger's Maw 2 quest that is unlocked by, beating Tiger's Maw 1. Venture over to this area. There's world quests that you can unlock. Do that, you'll be set, right? And it will also lead you to this boss. Now you can actually access this boss without doing the quest, but that's basically what the quest is for, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitch, and I'll see you next time.